The Sonic series is no stranger to the subject of spin-off titles. Ever since its debut year, Sonic has gone through various genres, such as puzzle games, racing games, fighting games, and even educational titles. One spin-off that has always been an all-time favorite for me is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, the first ever pinball game in the series with a heavy Western influence. The history and legacy surrounding this specific title is really fascinating, so let me take you through a deep dive of everything Sonic Spinball has to offer. From its troubled development, the scrapped and unused content, and finally some fun facts from the certified #1 Sonic Spinball fan. When Sega found out that Sonic 3 wouldn't be finished for a holiday 1993 release, Sega Technical Institute, an American development division of Sega, was tasked with making a game in its absence. After doing some research, STI found out that Sonic 2's most popular stage was Casino Night Zone. This info helped create a base for what this game should even be. Peter Morowick, the game designer, drew his inspiration for Spinball from Pinball Dreams, a game released for the Amiga in 1992, and he eventually came up with the brilliant idea of combining pinball with Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay. Peter and 3 other people crafted an Amiga demo that was shown, and Sega greenlit the project. The Sonic Spinball Amiga demo is quite interesting, as it showcases an early version of Mount Mobius in the Vago Fortress, a logo that reads Sonic Pinball, and Toxic Caves, which looks insanely different from the final version. This early demo shows us a bit of gameplay, with Sonic interacting with various gimmicks and pinball elements. Sonic Spinball went through a rather arduous development period. To start, the game was developed under C code rather than assembly code, which caused various optimization issues. It's also the first and only Sonic game to use the infamous GEM sound driver, a tool used for Western developers to make music. And to top it all off, they made this game in only 61 days. During the Spinball devs finished project party, some of the Japanese staff from Sonic 3 came over to check out the game. Hirokazu Yasuhara noticed the startup theme for the game and asked the devs how they were able to get Sega to pay royalties for the music. You see, what the Spinball team didn't know was that Dreams Come True owned the rights to the music from Sonic 1. After hearing this news, Howard Drawson made the title theme for the final game in only just 2 hours. Take a listen to the original and final title themes. To say that Spinball had a rough transition to actually becoming a real game would be a complete understatement. It's quite impressive how these devs were able to make the best Sonic game in only just a few months. Props to them. Now, let's dive into what you guys really want to see, the beta and unused content of Spinball. Here's a diagram of Mount Mobius made during the time the game was still called Sonic Pinball. The design mimics the one seen in the Amiga mockup and shows 5 levels. Underground and Eruption aren't seen in any build of the game, and Toxic Caves is called Toxic Pools here. That name would only appear in the 8-bit version of the game, along with a map of Mount Mobius. However, early screenshots and even this beta of Sonic Spinball show a cutscene of Robotnik with a map of Mount Mobius. Robotnik in Spinball has such a weird but cool looking design. Also, I'm pretty sure he's dead by the end of the game with this final cutscene. On the topic of early screenshots, here's another one of the flight to Mount Mobius set in the daytime, and the bonus minigame featuring Blue Arms Sonic. You can see that the board has various paths on it, and has a lot more detail compared to the final game. Sonic Spinball has an early version of box art for the Genesis release of the game, featuring this strange looking Robotnik boss in the background. The Game Gear box art also has this sketch that has a note from the artist Greg Martin about correcting Sonic's finger count to 4. Looking at the final piece, you can clearly tell that the Gen's box art has less fingers in comparison to the Game Gear box art. Sonic Spinball has 3 known prototypes, while the latter 2 PAL builds are pretty close to the final game and are literally identical to each other. The August 1993 build of Spinball has so many changes in comparison to the final game. While there are a lot of changes, I'll be going over the most interesting differences from the game. Bat, bee, butterfly, and bird animals are in this build. There's a new intro song that plays when Sonic falls into the water. This song would be touched up in later prototypes with this rendition of the song. On the topic of songs, this build features some interesting differences between the final songs. Toxic Caves and even an early version of the machine both are missing various instruments and notes, and there's another rendition of the machine which is completely different from the final game. And finally, the August build features this unused combo jingle. Some final graphical details that I found kinda neat was the dialogue on the status strip. There's so many differences from the final game that I could quite literally make a whole video on just that. And the red Chaos Emerald, which only appears in the bonus stages. And yeah, that's all the neat things I found from the August 1993 build of the game. If you want to see more early Spinball stuff that I didn't really mention in this video, I'll have a link to the cutting room floor so you guys can see more of this build. But now, let's take a look at the content that was released during and after Spinball's release, along with some fun facts that the most loyal of Spin Bros will ever tell you.
Now baby, I'm the ripper, your baby daddy's worst nightmare. Watch me, I declare, I'll be right there. Niggas copy everything we say. Louis frames, eyes lower than my GPS. Ride and swerve, fish I'm blow. Goes wide, my truck bump like Eddie Roll. I don't take hoes, I never tip the stripper. I'm rich bitch, but you can call me Cheap the Ripper.
For E3 of 1993 that year, Sega released this jacket showing some unique artwork that would be later used for the 1994 Sonic the Hedgehog Boom album, which we'll talk about in a bit. The artwork would be reused on this t-shirt too. Sonic Spinball would get 3 major musical releases: Sonic the Hedgehog Boom, a collection of arranged tracks from the North American Sonic CD soundtrack, and new arranged compositions of Sonic Spinball songs. These tracks were all arranged by Howard Drawson, who would later create songs for Sega's cancelled Sega Virtual Land. These compositions would be later released under the Sega Tunes label with Virtual Sonic. Virtual Sonic features songs from Sonic and Knuckles, along with 2 slightly rearranged Spinball tracks from the previous album. Something interesting to note is that the album features the first ever vocal theme for Metal Sonic, and the final few seconds from the Sonic and Knuckles theme would be used in the popular fan game Sonic Robo Blast 2. I highly recommend you take a listen to this album, as Drawson really showcases his versatility in genres, and plus, these songs absolutely just slap. Sonic Spinball recently got a vinyl album release by Data Discs. Pre-orders were made available on Saturday, July 9 of this year, which is quite the coincidence to say the least. So if you have a record player and want to listen to Sonic Spinball for some reason, well, the Spinball gods have blessed you with this release. Sonic Spinball was also the first ever game to be adapted into the Archie comics. In issue 6, Sonic gets a note from Robotnik that he's moving his operations into Mount Mobius. Sonic makes his way into Toxic Caves and encounters Rexon and Scorpius, and takes them both out. Sonic makes it to Lava Powerhouse and saves some captured animals. While not technically a Spinball story, Sonic the Comic issue 73 features a story in which Sonic has to rescue Tails on a giant pinball table, but I'm including it since it does explicitly say Spinball in the title. Did you know that in the manual for Comic Zone, in Sketch Turner's profile, it mentions that during his free time, he likes to play Sonic Spinball? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Sega character whose favorite game is none other than Sonic Spinball. Now that I'm thinking about it, both Spinball and Comix Zone share quite a few similarities. They were both exclusively developed by STI, they had CD music releases of their games, and both had a lot of involvement from Howard Drawson. Even Sketch's voice actor is literally Howard himself. Oh wait, this isn't a Comix Zone bonus video. I gotta get back to talking about Spinball. In the European release of Sonic Spinball, the intro theme is slightly longer than the North American theme, having, I guess you could consider a slight remix. In the Japanese release of the game, the Life Lost sound has its own unique jingle rather than that eerie laugh. On October 13, 2002, there was a Sonic Spinball browser game that was a cross-promotion with Lifesavers. To promote the release of Sega Smash Pack for the Game Boy Advance, Skyworks Technologies developed a Sonic Spinball game for computers that played similar to the Genesis game. Players could submit their scores, and the top 150 players could win the grand prize of a GBA in Sega Smash Pack. Unfortunately, the site closed down in 2004, so there isn't really a proper way to play this game. Sound effects from Sonic Spinball can be heard in Sonic Mania. And recently, Mount Mobius even made a cameo in Sonic Origins, along with Sonic rowing around in a barrel, just like in Toxic Caves. Sonic Spinball also shares the name of Alton Towers' Sonic Spinball roller coaster ride. I would say I wish I could go on it, but Alton Towers is in the UK, so I'll pass on that. And the last and greatest final fact of the day for all you Spin Bros. Did you know that Sonic Spinball, along with Sonic 3 and Mean Bean Machine, all make an appearance in Seinfeld? For all of you Seinfeld and Sonic fans watching the video, if you guys actually know the episode where these games actually show up, let me know in the comments down below. You'd be doing a great service to all Spinball fans out there. Well, that's all I found Sonic Spinball related to show you guys. I can officially say that I'm truly the #1 Sonic Spinball fan out there. It just can't be proven wrong, and if you do disagree, well, then you're simply just a fake fan, no questions asked. If you liked what you saw, I'm sorry to let you down, but I don't really make bonus videos. I do make other long-winded video essays, so if you actually are into those, consider doing the one thing YouTubers say at the end, you know, like, comment, subscribe, links and whatever. Check out the links down below as usual, and a big shout out to the cutting room floor for the prototype info. Thanks for watching, people, and I hope to see you guys again in the next Stryster video.